Hey guys, welcome to Retro Killscreen. I'm Paul, the Retro Man Fleck, and y'all know my assistant, John. I play games in my sleep, Wheeler.
Is that how it is now?
I don't know. You like it? Off the top of my head. Trying to go for it. Trying to go for a tool time thing there, kind of.
The funny thing is I actually have played games in my sleep before.
I have too, but it was StarCraft, so I lost.
I played Mobile Suit Gundam.
Oh, okay.
Like, you know, remember the old arcade game where you control a Gundam and you had to take on a team of two other mobile suits?
Yep.
I played that in my sleep, and when I woke up, I was 2 stages ahead of where I was.
Okay.
So apparently I beat a stage or two in my sleep.
Great.
Which is really weird. But when I woke up, I died immediately, so I was like, oh, shit.
I actually have a weird story to relate to our main topic of discussion today.
What is our main topic of discussion?
Well, my friend for the longest time, he was playing Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and he was stuck.
Sons of the Patriots.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but then, yeah, I got it mixed up in my head. But he was playing it on Expert, and he was stuck in this one part, and he kept trying, like, for a few days to get past this part, and he couldn't do it. And then he called me one morning, excited. He said, I had a dream, get over here now. He had a dream of how to beat the part. And it totally worked. It was the part with all the conveyor belts.
Oh, the part where you can just get in a box and ride through it all?
Yeah, but, well, no, like when you come back through, like in one of those rooms, not the whole conveyor belt part.
Oh, okay. No, I know what you're talking about.
Just one of those rooms because there was like 4 guys or whatever, and on Expert in that game, when you get spotted, game's over.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so he had a dream on how to beat it. I can't remember what it is he did, but it was something kind of weird, and it totally worked. So there you go, dreams and Metal Gear Solid. They mix. And that's also our topic of discussion today.
Ooh.
I know, it's been a long time coming. Kind of. A few months.
Sort of.
Yeah. I don't know.
We knew at some point we were going to do Metal Gear Solid.
Totally.
Or like even the series.
Yeah. So I was thinking maybe I would run down the storyline, if that's okay with you or people listening, just to catch everybody up so we know what's going on.
You can try waiting for the people listening to answer you, but it might take a while.
Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to take a deep breath here. Okay. So basically, Naked Snake gets sent in to extract a Russian scientist during the Cold War, but is betrayed by the boss, whom is used as a scapegoat to deal with a nuclear threat, and is blacklisted by both her country, the United States of America, and hated by the Russians. Naked Snake finds this through Eva, another operative working through her own objectives, and gets super duper pissed off and existential about why he's fighting, and defects, creating his own force, Foxhound, a base of operations, Outer Heaven, in which Solid Snake is sent in to destroy due to the government finding out of a nuclear warfare capable tank called Metal Gear Big Boss has in his arsenal. We're good so far?
Mm-hmm.
After destroying Outer Heaven, Snake gets sent yet again to take care of Big Boss in his new base, Zanzibar Land, and his new Metal Gear weapon. He finds out that he is a clone, aka son, of Big Boss, and after destroying the base and his newly found father, decides to exile himself to Alaska to be alone for a while until he's called in to clean up the government's dirty mess again when Liquid Snake and his band of Foxhound operatives seize the nuclear disposal facility of Shadow Moses to steal the secret government Metal Gear Rex, blackmailing them into handing over the resources to create a new Outer Heaven, because why the fuck not? Snake continues his way through Shadow Moses as bodies, both friend and foe, pile up for some unknown reason, but for sake of clarity, it's because he was infected with a virus called Foxdie, because Naomi was all pissed off for him leaving her brother Grey Fox behind in Zanzibar, even though that's who the weird ninja stalking him throughout the game is, we find out later, and plays a part in helping cripple Metal Gear Rex upon Liquid controlling it to try to kill Snake and everything in his path. During the fist fight with Liquid, it becomes clear that Snake is just a government puppet who are just puppets themselves of an older organization called the Patriots, who forced the president to call a strike against Shadow Moses to contain the incident. We're all still together?
Mm-hmm.
After neutralizing Metal Gear and Liquid, Snake walks off the distance with his newfound friend Otacon and love interest Meryl. With Snake becoming a hero, the Patriots try to destroy the president of the United States, whom they can no longer control, but he runs away with Ocelot, who's now sporting Liquid's arm because video games, and instead try to kill Snake as he's trying to destroy the new Metal Gear Ray, which Ocelot steals and runs away with, to the president, who was appointed by the Patriots as a puppet, and coincidentally enough is also a quote-unquote son of Big Boss named Solidus. Solidus tries to take out the Patriots once and for all by taking over Arsenal Gear, a large fortress-like nuclear sub, but is thwarted by Raiden, An operative created by the Patriots in their attempts to make their own brand of Big Boss Snake clone things. Raiden and Solid Snake team up to take down Solidus and Arsenal Gear, only to have Ocelot run away again with Metal Gear Ray. Years later, when the world is in constant conflict, private military companies are the only real need in the war economy. The 5 largest PMC groups are all owned in coalition by one mother company, Outer Heaven, run by Liquid Ocelot. Snake, who has aged considerably due to the cloning process and now named Old Snake, is sent in for one last hurrah to take down Liquid Ocelot once and for all. Oh, and the Patriots have been dead for 100 years. There you go.
Yep.
And, like, I won't give away the end, but stuff happens at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. Just kind of wraps everything up. Okay. So now that I'm trying to catch my breath again, the best game in the series, in my opinion, is probably Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
I'm going to agree with that, but I'm going to say it's the Subsistence version.
Okay.
Because that one added a better camera.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And the 3DS version actually played kind of all right, too.
Yeah, a little bit laggy at some points, but otherwise pretty good.
I don't own it. I only played it on the demo, so it played okay there. I didn't feel like I needed to own it yet, because I had played that game probably 2 years ago, and I wasn't ready to jump back in again yet. But, yeah, like, okay, so Snake Eater is the part of the story that started it all that I was talking about. Basically, Naked Snake, who becomes Big Boss later on, gets sent in to do infiltrate-y stuff or whatnot to take out the boss or whatever, who is claimed as a traitor. Well, I guess she's claimed as a traitor as you play.
Yeah, because at first she's on your side when you're going to get Dr. Sokolov.
Yeah, I couldn't remember his name either. That's one name I didn't even look up. So there you go. But
well, he's not really that important, all things considered.
No, he's not. What's important is that nuclear stuff and a tank, the Shagohod, and Big Boss. Like, that's pretty much the big things that Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater brought into the series.
Sort of Eva as well. I guess she doesn't really have a payoff till 4.
Yeah, which is...
And only in 4, for that matter.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously because they created 4, like everything else was created before 3. So even though, like, in their timeline, Metal Gear Solid 3 takes place in 1964 and Metal Gear Solid 4 takes place in 2014.
Doesn't, what am I trying to say here? Doesn't Eva show up in Portable Ops and Peace Walker, or just Portable Ops?
I'm not actually sure. I haven't played either because I don't know.
I've played a bunch of Portable Ops, but I never finished it, and I've not touched Peace Walker.
At all, right?
No, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah, that's part of the HD collection they released recently, too. I've been meaning to buy that just for that game, really. Try it out. Nathan's liking it, if that's any...
Peace Walker?
Yeah. I think it's Peace Walker, he said he's liking. I don't know.
I thought he was playing Portable Ops. I don't know. Either way. No, actually, no. I think you're right with Peace Walker.
Yeah. All right. I also have the timeline here. I'll just state for people wondering what order these go in. Like, I'll go chronologically based on the story, and like I'll throw the non-canon stuff in after. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater starts it with taking place in 1964. Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops 1970. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker takes place in 1974. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes is still to be announced, but it takes place in between that and Metal Gear, which takes place in 1995. Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake takes place in 1999. Solid takes place in 2005. Solid 2 Sons of Liberty in 2007. Guns of the Patriot 2014. And Metal Gear Rising takes place in 2018, which I haven't been able to play yet. But that isn't retro, so I don't think that matters.
I played Rising.
Yeah? Is it pretty good?
I like it, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Like, the sword mechanics and stuff was pretty fun, the demo I played of it, but I just haven't bought it.
It is very different from all the other Metal Gear games, so I can see why it's also, like, why do you add this in or not? Yeah,
like, kind of like a black sheep, right? Because there's no stealth.
Mm-hmm. Well, there is, like, slight stealth if you want it to be, otherwise you don't even need to worry about it.
Okay.
You have the option of stealth, but you can easily fight your way through everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, because in the demo, I believe you take out a bunch of dudes and then take out a helicopter. So stealth doesn't seem to be something that you need to worry about when you're that dude.
But there is a cardboard box you can hide in and sneak around. Same with the drum.
Yeah. Okay, that's amazing. Does the box say anything on it?
I don't know. I haven't really needed it.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. All right. So Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I'm going to say probably my favorite back in the, maybe not now so much, but I really liked the camouflage mechanics they had back in the day. I really liked that, putting on the different like face paint and camo and like your percentage of how hidden you were and stuff like that. I really liked that. I don't want to say retro, but like older take on like stealthy espionage type stuff where you're not using the camo that you have in Metal Gear Solid 4, which basically just makes you invisible, but you're actually having to like change your suit for your surroundings. And
it's a lot of micromanagement too, in a way, because you have to keep going into the menu and changing everything around.
Yeah, and you got to like heal yourself and eat snakes, as it were, or tree frog, or whatever else the song says. That song is still one of the best songs ever as well. Very Bond feeling.
Oh God, Snake Eater, the theme.
Yeah.
Someday you'll eat a tree frog.
Yeah, that game though has that one part where you're just going up a ladder for what's like literally 5 minutes straight, and the theme song is just playing very lightly. Just that's one of the best parts of that game. Just saying. And I'm not really sure why. I don't remember what part that even leads up to. I think it leads up from the fight with the Fury up to the last area.
It's after the point where he gets his eye patch, I believe, isn't it? It's like when he's down on his most luck. No. Shoot, I thought it was the point where he was. Yeah, no, it's the part after the sorrow, isn't it? Like you do the sorrow and then you get out of that and climb the ladder, isn't it?
I can't remember. Maybe I should have played the 3DS version just so I would have been a little fresher on it, but yeah, I don't know. Either way, it's one of my favorite parts of that game. But I don't know, what are some of your favorite parts, or like, do you like another game better? Maybe?
No, I'm definitely a fan of Subsistence. Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah.
I probably played 1 the most and 4 kind of.
Now, when it comes to 1, do you like Metal Gear Solid or do you prefer Twin Snakes?
I'm always on the fence about that. The music is better in Metal Gear Solid 1, in my opinion.
Yep.
But Twin Snakes has better cutscenes, looks better, and feels a lot nicer, even though
it's so much goofier.
Yeah. Oh, no, I love the goofy stuff they added, like backflipping off of missiles.
Yeah.
Friggin' hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Doesn't he also kick the grenade into the tank?
Yes. Oh, God, I'd forgotten about that. Like, so many good things in that game.
If he could do all that, it makes you feel less empowered when you're playing him and he can barely shoot. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of funny. But yeah, it's kind of a debate that I've had with some people. And I think it's nostalgia for me that's really painting my opinion. I like the original Metal Gear Solid and I still think it controls great. But that might be because I played so much of it back in the day that like it's just muscle memory at this point. It's not me trying to pick up a game like it was new. So it's kind of hard for me to distinguish that. But yeah, there definitely are things I really liked about Twin Snakes. But that might have just been because it was a game I loved before, remade for a new system.
Yeah, I kind of hated how they added in the Metal Gear Solid 2 first-person shooting mechanics because that ruined a couple points of the game. Yeah,
because that game, like the level design and stuff in that game, wasn't built with the idea that you could look across the whole heliport and shoot someone. So yeah, I know what you're talking about for sure. Where it's just like you get off the elevator and you can see the dude all the way by the camera or up on the ledge. It's just like, well, this isn't a thing anymore. I'm just going to wait here and aim or something. But I don't know. It still has that weird feel going for it where it's a Metal Gear game. So it's good, in my opinion anyways. And it still has the stupid boss fights that don't really make any sense, but whatever, because video games. I'm just trying to remember what Psycho Mantis reads on your GameCube.
On the GameCube, he reads Sanity's Requiem, Eternal Darkness, Super Mario Sunshine.
Okay.
I believe Pikmin and Smash Brothers as well.
Like, does he say anything special for those? Because when I played that game, I never had a Smash Brothers or Pikmin save.
I don't remember for those two. I just remember Sunshine and Eternal Darkness were the most memorable ones for me.
Yeah.
Because I love the way that he says, looks like you've been playing Super Mario Sunshine.
Like, does he just say, like, you've been playing Pikmin? It's, like, weird. Dude knows what I've been playing. It's not as, like, gimmicky as it was before, I guess, but...
Yeah.
When he knew that I played Castlevania, and he was so stoked about it.
And Gran Turismo.
See, I never got that one, because I never played Gran Turismo on my PlayStation. Well, I never saved it. I played it at my friend's house, but the only one I got was Castlevania, and I think there was another one, but I can't remember.
To answer the question from earlier, the ladder scene is after the end fight, so you were right.
It is after the end fight?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so I was remembering it wrong.
I said it wrong, too. I said the Fury.
Oh.
So we were both wrong, so -1 point for both of us, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm looking through the list here. Sons of Liberty, I'm going to say I still like quite a bit, but I am one of those people that having very little Solid Snake was disappointing to me. I still don't particularly like Raiden very much. Maybe it's just because I didn't grow with him.
Raiden's got more likable the farther along the series has gone.
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering about Rising, to bring it more to like modern day stuff, because Guns of the Patriot, I liked him quite a bit, but that it might have been because I didn't have to play with him at all. He was just kind of like the cool secondary character that would pop in. So I'm kind of wondering how I would feel about him being the main character again, even though he is obviously a lot cooler and not as whiny and all that other stuff that little girls like. So I don't know. Maybe I'm off base here, but didn't Hideo Kojima even say that they created Raiden with the idea that, like, it's what little girls would like teenage girls?
I don't know. I don't remember that.
Like the effeminate, skinny character with long hair.
Based on all the dialogue that Rose and Jack have, that's basically the equivalent of a soap opera, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got the list for the memory card readings here. Apparently I was wrong again, because apparently Gran Turismo's not on this list. In the original game, Mantis mentions Silent Hill, Azure Dreams, Suikoden, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Vandal Hearts, plus Police Knots and Snatcher in the Japanese version.
Weird,
yeah,
okay.
I swear Gran Turismo was mentioned. While in the 2003 remake, he referenced Melee, Mario Sunshine, Wind Waker, and Eternal Darkness. So I got Wind Waker and Pikmin confused.
Wind Waker.
I swear he said something for Gran Turismo and Pikmin. Weird.
You've been playing Gran Turismo.
Beep, beep, I'm a Jeep.
I think that would make that game a lot better if he said that ever. But maybe
beep,
that's
beep,
just
I'm a Jeep.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
No, I'm not going to try to do an impression right now. Mainly because my throat's not feeling 100% up to par. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 2, just to move on a little bit more, because I don't really know what else I could say about 1. I like the story, but I kind of just like the story of the whole series, I guess. But there was a point where they got maybe too crazy with it, and I think that was 2.
You think?
Yeah, because that's where they added in everything, like the Patriots thing and whatnot, and they tried to kind of throw that in retroactively and some other stuff by maybe making a few cutscenes and, video games that came out after Metal Gear Solid 2 that took place before Metal Gear 1 on the NES did. But, yeah, I don't know. And I always get these mixed up in my mind, too, because Solid... just the addition of Solid just kind of changes everything. I wish Metal Gear on the NES was originally called Metal Gear Solid, maybe. And then Solid was called something else just because Solid Snake is in that one. So anything that he and Big Boss have been kind of a thing in should be Solid, and then everything else different, because Metal Gear 2 was subtitled or whatever Solid Snake. So that's still okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, what was the time frame between Metal Gear 2 and No, you're solid, because that's at least 2 generations.
8 years. Metal Gear 2 came out in 1990, and Solid came out in 98.
So yeah, that's 2 generations, because it was the MSX and technically the NES, even though that's a different game. And then it's 2 generations later. So. Well,
I mean, Metal Gear 2 came out 3 years later than Metal Gear even, so that's still quite a long turnaround.
True.
I can't remember if I read this or just heard a rumor or somebody just kind of saying it, but wasn't Metal Gear just kind of meant to be its own thing? I guess back in those days, though, you would just kind of make a game, not with the intention of making a sequel, because video games weren't big enough that you might get money enough to do another one or even want to. So I guess it would make sense that, like, after Metal Gear and Solid Snake's a thing, that's when they started bringing him into the name Solid.
Yeah.
Because Metal Gear did so well and they just kind of flew with that, I guess. But then at the same time, like, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, he's not anywhere in there. Well, technically. I mean, his daddy is, but I don't know. What was his name again? Jack? I think it was Jack.
Solid's actual name?
No, Big Boss.
Or Solid. Big Boss is actually... Yes, actually it's Jack.
Which is weird
John,
because...
I was about to say John for a second, but I think that's just one of the code names he has.
Yeah, because isn't also Raiden's name Jack?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was named after Big Boss.
Yeah. Oh, what the hell? Solid. See, they're getting mixed up in my head now. Solid is named David.
Yeah.
After
David Hayter.
Yeah, who does the voice, which is really hilarious, but I don't know. We don't have to get into that.
Never mind. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was right originally, actually. Real name John.
His real name is John.
Yeah, aliases: One-Eyed Man in Metal Gear 2, okay. Saladin in Metal Gear Solid, Jack in Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, Naked Snake in same games.
Yep. Huh.
So apparently his actual name is...
Wait, so he was still called Naked Snake in Portable Ops and Peace Walker?
Yeah, technically.
See, that's kind of weird because he was given the code name of Big Boss at the end of 3.
Remember, some people still knew him as Naked Snake.
I guess, like, also, if you're called Big Boss by the government and then you defect, like, does that name probably doesn't carry over with you?
Probably. In the prequel titled Snake Eater, young Big Boss uses the codename Naked Snake as a member of the newly formed Special Force Unit Fox. Snake states that his real name is John, however he is called Jack, diminutive for John, by various characters.
Okay.
This is all in Wiki.
Yeah, no, like, the thing is, like, I don't know if you know this, but the writing in Metal Gear, they kind of flip-flop.
Yeah, so, a little bit.
Yeah, just a bit. But, you know what? That kind of does make sense because at the end of Snake Eater as well, they give him the title Big Boss, but I think that he kind of doesn't want it.
Okay, actually, right underneath what I just read literally answers your question.
Oh, okay.
In Portable Ops, set 6 years after 3, Big Boss prefers to be addressed by his former codename Naked Snake, believing that he's yet to surpass the boss as a warrior.
Right.
So, yeah.
But he did kill her. So, I don't know. Just, you know what, technicalities. If you kill somebody, you're probably a better warrior than they are. I'm just stating that, I guess. Okay, I want to get back to Metal Gear Solid 2 a little bit. Like, I should have brought up some of the dumb quotes in that. Do you remember any of the crazy quotes when...
I need scissors 61.
Well, I mean, besides that one, because I know you knew that one, but I'm just trying to remember. There was one that my friend had memorized. It was one of those really long ones where Colonel goes crazy and he says a whole bunch of different stuff.
Fission mailed.
Yeah. He tells you to turn the game off, which at that point, I had been playing all night, so it was kind of like, oh shit, maybe he's right.
Did I ever tell you the story of what happened when that came up for me?
No.
You know, at one point during the elevator fight, the game makes it seem like you've died. And
yeah, the fission mail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, as that happened, I had so little health that I should have actually died, and I got hit. So I put down the controller being like, oh, fuck, I didn't want to die at this point. And then I realized I was still alive. I was like, oh, shit! Grabbed the controller and kept playing.
Did you surpass that part?
Yeah, believe it or not, I actually did not die at that scene, even though I had dropped the controller when I had like 1 hit point left.
Classic. You have earned the title of Big Boss.
Excellent. Well, I mean, John, so there you go.
Big Boss John. That doesn't have the same ring to it.
But his name is John, so there you go.
Yeah, I guess. You can't, I don't know, the codename doesn't sound as good as Proton John, though. You don't get that rhyme. Big Boss John. Weird. Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Okay, then maybe we won't make it a thing.
Yeah. What did you think of Metal Gear Solid 2?
I liked it at the time, but the story got way heavy-handed, and they went overboard with the cutscenes.
Yeah, like, I'm just trying to remember. That wasn't really the first instance, though, because Metal Gear Solid had quite a few cutscenes as well.
I didn't remember 1 being as bad as 2, though. Like, I felt like 2 just went overboard with it at certain points.
I think the cutscenes were maybe just shorter in Solid. The only one that I can really say is comparable to anything that came after Metal Gear Solid was when Liquid is talking to you after Rex is destroyed or whatever, and you're kind of knocked out and you're coming to. That part takes quite a while, where he's just kind of explaining everything that's going on and the project Les Enfants Terribles.
Les Enfants Terribles,
yeah. So that whole part where he's just like, okay, so you played through the game, and if you didn't get it, I'm going to explain everything that's going on, and you probably still won't understand it. That part took a while.
God, did it ever.
And it's really annoying because if I remember correctly, that's before your final fist fight with him. So if you fail at that fist fight, you get to watch that all over again.
You can skip it, though, I believe.
Can you?
I believe you're allowed to skip cutscenes, especially if you've seen it once.
Why does it feel like that's not a thing? That seems like something one of us should have probably played the game just to find out, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Either way, even if you could skip it, long cutscenes, not really a thing. You can skip them later, too, can't you? In the other games?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can pause them in 4, I believe.
Yeah, just like straight up pause them and continue them later. I mean, that's because 4 had like half an hour cutscenes, though. That was almost like just watching a movie and playing in between movie parts. I still really like 4, though. You know what? I'm going to say 4 is probably my favorite after Solid and 3.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
Because every time I think back to it, I just remember a few parts that were annoying to me. Specifically which enemy was it? The flying one where you're in the abandoned building.
Oh, the bell tower.
Yeah, that's the worst thing in that game. And that's what I always think of. But then when I think of the other parts they had in there, and Laughing Octopus is one of the most disturbing stories to a character ever. Do you remember her story?
I don't remember her story.
Her story was she was forced by militants or whatever to kill her parents when she was a child, and they forced her to laugh while doing it.
Oh, right.
Which is disturbing because it's one of those things that, like, once you start laughing, you just can't really stop, sort of thing. And, like, I don't know, just burning into your mind you killing your parents while you're laughing and, like, tears are coming out because you don't want to be. It just, like, that's really disturbing. I don't know. That hit me pretty hard. But they all had really crazy, sad stories. But then if you beat them a certain way or whatever, you could take pictures of them in cat suits.
Wait, what?
You would get photo shoots with them.
Right. Oh, I forgot about that stupid thing.
And I think it's if you knock them out, right? You can't kill them. You have to use like stun stuff.
Yeah. That's also how you get the solar gun.
Yeah. Yeah, the solar gun. Oh man. I'm kind of annoyed at that game though, because I played it multiple times before trophies were a thing for it, specifically because they only got trophies for Metal Gear Solid 4 like last year, if I remember. And I had been wondering if maybe I should just go back and try to get those trophies, but I don't want to get the high ranks and stuff all over again. So, I don't know. I probably won't do that. That Metal Gear Solid 4, though, definitely for the series in general, has the best ending of any of the games. I love that final fist fight with Ocelot / Liquid Ocelot.
The Tekken-ass fight.
Well, just the fact that, like, every time you get him down to 1 bar or whatever, he changes, and the fight is like the fight from the game.
Yeah, the music, the theme plays, and, like, all the mechanics suddenly change.
Yeah. Although, playing that fight with a new system, new graphics, and controllers, and feel, and gameplay, and all that sort of stuff, and then doing the same old, like, punch punch kick combo from Metal Gear, or Metal Gear Solid rather, that was kind of annoying. The kind of like Rocky brawl you get though when you do the Snake Eater part's amazing. I really like that.
All the countering and...
Well, yeah, and when that fight starts, it's a cutscene, and then you're kind of worried at first, almost like, oh, really? This game's going to end with a cutscene? I don't even get to do the final fight? And then they're both kind of on their knees. They have one of those, like, stim needles left, and they just, like, shove it in each other's necks, and then that's when you get to fight.
I think Liquid sticks it in Snake's neck, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, they stick it in each other's.
He forces him to, like, we're not done yet.
Well, they both do at the same time.
No, I thought the way it went was that Liquid did it to himself, and then he's like, "I want this to be a fair fight," and he does that to Snake, and then they brawl.
No, they both have one, and then they both pull back and just hit each other at the same time in the neck with it, and that's when both the life bars go up and they stand up.
Oh, is that really? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. And the only reason I know that is because I watched that end fight again for nostalgia tingles like a week ago. Otherwise, I wouldn't have remembered. But
fair enough.
Yeah. There's been some really good endings, though. Like, I was almost in tears at the end of Snake Eater. Maybe it's because Eva was crying. So it's just like, well, if you're crying, I'm going to cry. But when she's explaining everything that went on with the boss or whatever, and then John, I guess, salutes the grave. Just like, oh, my heart just so broken right now. But I don't know. I really like the Metal Gear games. The problem is I don't know what one solid thing, no pun intended, I guess, I could talk about. Because it's just all so good. I guess I can't talk really much about Metal Gear 2 specifically, because I've never played it to completion myself. I've only played it to maybe halfway.
You've sort of played a Metal Gear 2, though.
Like if you're talking about Snake's Revenge?
Yeah.
Yes, I have played Snake's Revenge. It's not part of the canon, though, so I'm going to say I still haven't played Metal Gear 2. I guess just other stuff that's not in the canon: Metal Gear Ghost Babel, Metal Gear Acid, and Metal Gear Acid 2.
Acid's kind of weird because it's about like a clone of Solid Snake.
Acid's really good, though.
Acid is actually very good. Even though it's a card game, it's very good.
You're saying Acid 2's good?
Both Acids. Acid 2 is better.
No, yeah, I know. But like I remember another time we talked, and we both agreed Acid was good. Then I asked you about 2, and you said it was good.
Yeah.
So
I like both Acids, yeah.
I never played Ghost Babel or whatever.
I played that. I never finished it, but I got fairly far. It is basically like Metal Gear Solid 1 era Solid Snake sneaking around in the traditional Metal Gear gameplay style.
Do you know where it takes place?
I don't remember the name of the area.
Okay.
But I thought it was Outer Heaven, but I don't think it is. I've been way off with a lot of my guesses lately, so.
So I'm not even going to make them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's something we could probably look up, but...
I'm already doing it right now.
Yeah, I figured you were probably doing that. I want to play Ground Zeroes. That doesn't really have anything to do with retro. I understand, but yeah, I don't know. I wish I could talk more about Peace Walker or Portable Ops, because I feel like they're probably really good and they have good story stuff in them, but I just can't. Which is why I figured there was just stuff in there that was happening between Big Boss defecting and him being labeled a traitor in Metal Gear for the NES, like stuff he did. So I didn't feel like I had to look up what was going on in that storyline for the little summary I did here at the beginning. I still would like to see that sort of stuff, though, because I do like Big Boss as a character. I think he's really well-rounded or whatever. Everyone else is kind of maybe too cliche, overwritten for some of them, or just a clone. So, I don't know. Were you able to find that
It takes
information?
place in the region of Jindra in Central Africa.
Jindra. And it's solid?
His mission is to infiltrate the group's headquarters, Gaolu, the fortress that was formerly Outer Heaven.
Oh, so a bunch of other guys were just like, well, fuck it, I'm going in here now. I'm going to do stuff. And he's like, no. Okay. That's weird. That's like a spin-off.
Well, it is basically a side story, yeah.
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with the actual Patriots, I guess. What did you think of the whole Patriot idea?
A little ham-fisted.
Mm-hmm. It seemed almost like a cop-out. So, like, they didn't have to say that the government in America is corrupt.
Kind of. And it makes sense, because if a Japanese company makes fun of America's government, then people will treat them as anti-Semitism and just get upset about it. Or anti-government. Whatever the term is. Anti-American
or whatever.
Okay,
I guess, like, if you want to be specific about it, it would be kind of weird, too, coming from Japan. I mean, they probably have the most reason of anyone in the world to really maybe not like America, but
a little bit.
I'm sure they're smart enough people to understand that they can't just make a game saying that American governments are bullshit and we should destroy them. So the Patriots might have been kind of a workaround around that, but it definitely feel like it was ham-fisted and a cop-out, I guess, if you want to call it that. I don't know. It got things maybe too complicated.
I think I look at it more not as much as a cop-out, more so that it just complicated things way too much.
For no reason either.
But then again, too, in general, kind of complicated things way too much.
It's kind of weird what they did with 2, because, like, I don't know if they were writing themselves in a corner to see how they would get out for, like, creativity reasons or something, or if they just thought it would end on a high note. Like, where nobody understood what was going on and we will never explain it, because...
Well, keep in mind, like, Kojima's been trying to walk away from the series since 2 was done.
Right, but at the same time, when you try to walk away from something and then at the end of your last thing that you're like, okay, I'm done, you add a whole bunch of weird shit. Like, I don't understand.
Good point.
I don't understand, I guess what I'm saying is I don't understand what he was trying to do. Where it's like, I think I'm going to be done with this series after this one. This is going to be my magnum opus. I'm going to put everything into this. And then it's just like, well, now you have a shitload of questions you need to answer, so you need to make another game. Otherwise, people will riot in the streets and it'll be anarchy. And then he was like, all right. So then he made Snake Eater, which didn't really answer anything because it was a prequel. I don't know. Maybe it's just a grand scheme he had, like a 10-year plan. Where he's like, well, if Metal Gear Solid 2 doesn't sell well enough, I can just leave it and it'll be like a niche thing where people that were really into it, it'll have a cult following and they'll try to explain everything themselves. Or if it does really well, I can make like another 10 games to explain everything. So maybe he was besting all of us. I don't know.
Truly he was a patriot.
Oh, snap. And he's been dead for 100 years. Hideo Kojima doesn't actually exist.
Ba-da-da-da.
No, is it? Yeah, I guess in that one it was like that, but the other ones it's just like Mr. President or whatever.
No, I was making fun of the Snake Eater sound, but yeah.
Yeah, specifically, I know. I think it was that in that one. But like the other ones, it was just like boom, boom, or whatever. Those calls at the end of the games always made that experience great for me. I mean, yeah, that's another thing that they added all weird at the end of. Well, I guess that's one, the Mr. President thing. And then they had to explain what was going on there. And they kind of did in 2. I really like Solidus as a character. I feel
like he didn't really offer much.
The thing is, I like villains who aren't just evil because they're villains. I like the villains or bad guys that are actually just guys that have an ideology and they probably go the wrong way about it, even though they're totally right. Because, like, he was trying to destroy the Patriots, but what better way than to destroy everything? So, like, he was a little messed up in the way he was trying to go about doing the right thing. And that's what I think makes a really good, like, nemesis for characters.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just not remembering 2 properly, but I just don't remember liking Solidus at all.
Is it because he had 2 swords and you only had 1 at that?
Because he was freaking Doc Ock.
Mm.
No,
Well,
I don't know. I didn't mind that fight. Actually, that fight was pretty fun. But I don't know. It was just something about the character himself that just rubbed me the wrong way.
Fair enough. What is your favorite fight in any of these games?
Psycho Mantis has a good point. That was pretty cool once you figured out what you're supposed to do.
That's a pretty strong one, yeah. That's like the memorable one that when somebody says Metal Gear Solid or like Metal Gear, you're like, oh yeah, Psycho Mantis, that fight.
I also liked Vulcan Raven and The End.
Which Vulcan Raven? Not the tank, I'm guessing.
Not the tank, no.
Okay, the actual fight, yeah.
Yeah. Although I remember the tank was pretty memorable too, because like, holy crap, I'm fighting a tank. I'm just a dude.
Yeah, especially how you start that off, where you get past the minefield, and then you run forward a bit, and then if you don't move, you get shot by a fucking tank.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. You're right. The End is a great fight because I think it's the first time in a long time, at least, when I played it in a video game where it was really like on expert or the hardest difficulty. It was really a war of attrition where you're just moving ever so slightly and looking everywhere to see if you can catch a glimpse of where he might be. And then especially if you want to add a little more difficulty to that, trying to sneak up on him and stun him, that's great too. Or you know what? You can bypass that whole fight and just shoot him on the dock. Or
you can turn off your game and come back to it a week later.
I'm guessing you had anger issues at that part then.
What? No, I beat that thing. I beat the end fight proper, but I heard about that thing and I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying that like I did that because I didn't want to deal with it.
No. I did the end fight. I enjoyed the end fight.
Yeah.
Otherwise I wouldn't have mentioned it.
I do like the idea that he's a boss you can kill before you fight him. That's just kind of dirty. But I don't know,
it's
maybe.
It's a clever idea. You wouldn't think about it otherwise. Like, if you saw people off in the distance, you're like, I probably can't hurt them.
Yeah.
Especially considering when you get closer, a cutscene starts.
Yeah. Metal Gear is just dirty. War is dirty.
War is hell.
Yeah.
And it never changes.
Changed. I think it has changed, though, in Metal Gear.
War never changes. Or has it?
That's Fallout, right?
What?
War never changes, specifically, like a video game?
No, that's Metal Gear.
Is it Metal Gear? Or which one is War has changed? Because Metal Gear Solid 4, I think he says War has changed because it's all about PMCs and nanomachines.
MGS4, War
and he's just an old killer called in to do some wet work.
Changes. No, never mind you. I think you are right. That is Fallout for War never changes, and War has changed is Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, snap.
This is not my recording today, apparently.
I guess not. You know what, though? You will have your day.
Someday.
Probably next time. Which okay. So we don't know what we're doing anymore. That sounds really bad, but every time we call a game, it never seems to happen, and we end up just doing something else.
Retro Killscreen, the podcast where we just make shit up.
Kind of. But I don't know. I think it works. People say they like it. I don't particularly understand why. Maybe because we're pulling on the nostalgia chords a little bit.
We have stupid banter.
I guess. Do we still have stupid banter, though, if we actually research the games we're talking about?
Yeah, maybe. No, we still do.
Okay. Well, I don't remember how we even started this podcast. So there you go. I think we were talking about dreaming about games or something. I guess
that was how you brought it in, because you're like, my friend dreamed about Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, which is totally true, too. I just made up our stupid intro there, and it's somehow tied in. So, I don't know. Things are starting to look up. Is there any game you want to call for next week? I don't have anything specifically. We could probably just wing it.
I think we're going to end up winging it, because I've got nothing I really want to play this week.
Yeah. So what do you guys listening think? You can write us at killscreen@pixel-response.com or write in to our Twitter, Retro Killscreen, or of course just our normal Twitters. I'm Exposure, EXFAUXSURE, and John is Proton_John.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah, sorry about missing last week. We'll try to keep it weekly, but
we were crazy busy last week too. That didn't help at all.
Last week was bad. It was real bad. This week isn't that much better, but today was dead. So today was a good day. We got a bad snowstorm.
Man, my internet was knocked out for like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, that's rough. I didn't get it nearly as bad as you did then.
We had power flashes early in the morning, and then later on in the afternoon, the internet was gone, which worked out for me. I had a bunch of chores I had to get done anyway, so.
You had no distraction then?
Yeah.
For supper, we went out to grab some food because I had nothing in the house at the time here. And we had to dig out like 3 or 4 feet of snow off of the car and then around it just to get out. So there you go. Half an hour worth of work just to drive for 5 minutes. Fucking fantastic.
Calgary.
We've been having it good, though. It's really hard to complain.
It's going to be like plus 12 or something on Saturday as well, so it's going to be super warm again soon.
Fucking ridiculous.
Someone tweeted me a picture earlier today. It was literally a screenshot. It was a picture someone took on March 1st and then on today, March 3rd. And it was like in the same spot, same location, same angle, but like one looked like spring and the other looked like middle of winter.
Yeah, we got like the worst blizzard I think we've had all year.
A lot of power was gone. And like I had to drive through downtown, a bunch of areas just not have any lights. Saw tons of accidents. My car skidded around a bunch, and I have winter tires on.
Shit. Why did you have to go downtown? Unless it's personal and you can't say.
I was dropping off girlfriend's coworker.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so it wasn't like you were on I guess you were on like a schedule, like a time-based thing. That's stressful when you have to drive anywhere when it snows really bad, and you're like, I have 10 minutes to get here, and I'm here.
I didn't have the rush, thankfully. Like downtown was like the second half of it was the drop-off, because I had to pick them both up from work.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But it was just like ridiculous. The roads were ridiculous.
Yeah. Retro Killscreen, where you can hear all about Calgary, Alberta weather. There you go.
It's random.
It's random. We'll see you guys later.
Random.